Welcome back, and I'm your host, Stephen Norris, and as always, my co-host, Michael Dial of Megastar Financial. And today we're talking about new build properties, a very hot topic over the last couple of years, so we're excited to address that with you guys right now. What we are going to talk about for new builds, because we could talk about it forever, is the process, the basic process of the real estate construction from the ground up, and then we're going to be talking about the financing element from a lender's perspective, because obviously, you guys are going to have to finance these properties when you buy them. So let's hop right into it. So when it comes to the real estate portion of buying your new build property, here's how the general process is going to go. And we're also going to give you guys some terms and some definitions to know about too. So take some notes if you want. So when you go into a new build property, you'll always go into the model home to talk to the salesperson, the staff right there. Now, when you talk to them, they're going to welcome you, obviously, and have a development map of, hey, here's exactly where the development is going to do, and here's how long it's going to take for us to build out the entire project, and here's what current phase we are in. If the property is going to take 5 years to build, they might say, hey, every single year is another phase, so we're in phase 2 out of 5 right now. That's just some terms to know about when you first go in there to ask the question to say, hey, if the salesperson says we're in phase 3 or phase 4, ask them, what does that mean in terms of the end of the project? We'll tell you why that's important to know at the end of this video too. But when you get there, they'll show you the lot map and they'll say, pick your lot, pick where you want to build your new house. Now, they will obviously show you guys the available lots that are for sale right now. Now, when it comes to building your lot, you will always pay what's called a lot fee, because you have to pick your lot and put a deposit down to lock in that lot. So it's nobody else besides yours. All right. Now, depending upon where it's located and when it's going to get built, it may range from a couple $100 to a couple $1,000 to tens of thousands of dollars for your lot fee. So just ask them that question. Now, obviously, that's the where. The when is very important too, because if you're obviously lot number 5 out of 500, well, okay, you're going to get built pretty quickly. But if you're number 105 out of 500, you may be waiting a little bit for your house to get built. So make sure you ask them that question too. All right. Now, once you have picked your lot, they will say, fantastic, please see our model homes and choose which layout you like the best. Normally, they'll have a set number of layouts, which normally they call elevation. Which elevation do you like? 1, 2, 3, or 4, etc. Now, once you have chosen your layout, they'll say, fantastic, what kind of finishes do you want in this house now? Now, normally, again, they'll have a set number of finishes or packages that they call them to choose from. The reason why is because obviously these builders buy things in bulk, and so they only are going to give you a couple of different options. The options that they will normally give to you is the color and type of cabinet, your flooring, your backsplash for the shower, and your stone for your cabinets and for the bathroom cabinets. All right, so you can mix and match which ones you want, but you have to choose from their set numbers. You can't say, oh, I want cabinet 1 and stone 3. You can't do that. So just be aware. However, once your house has been built, obviously it's yours. You can change whatever you like. All right, that's your business. So just be aware about that too. Now, another disclaimer. When you walk into the model homes that they show you, they will have the tip of the top finishes in all the houses. That's how they attract you, right? So just know that too. All right. Now, after you've chosen your lot and your layout and the kind of house that you want, now they start to work on your property. So now they're going to have you different phases of your construction project. They're going to have the groundbreaking, they're going to have the foundation, the framing, and then they're going to have the drywall piece, and then they're going to have the end result. Now, there's a lot of stuff that happens in between that, but we're going to give you guys just the basic things to remember in terms of the time frame. And obviously, if you have a good realtor and a salesperson, they will encourage you to go there as much as possible to see the process, because it's fun. It's fun to take pictures and have a little flip book or a little memory book. It's honestly really fun to see these things and learn these things as they pop up. And obviously, when you're there, you can ask them questions, etc. Now, throughout the construction process, you do have the option to bring in a third-party inspector to look at their work and make sure that's being done right. People will tell you to do this or to not do this. And we always tell our friends and clients, absolutely do this, because it's just a second set of eyes, because the builders sometimes go too fast. They overlook one small thing, say, hey, guys, you forgot that. Oh, thanks for telling us that. Totally forgot about it, right? Happens to the best of us, right? So when it comes to the inspectors, you will tell them, hey, I want a new construction inspection, and they will do it in different phases. Normally, as I mentioned, you have those foundation and drywall and completion phases. That's normally when the inspector will come out to the property those 3 times to say, hey, is this being done right? Is it up to code? That's going to be a yes or a no. Very, very obvious if it's a yes or a no. The drywall piece, that's when you actually have your walls, your dry walls up. And that's when you're going to start to see, oh my gosh, I can start seeing this thing come to life. It looks absolutely cool, fantastic, right? And obviously the reason why the inspector comes to that is because you have to construct your frame and all of your studs in certain proper areas based off your code. Now, if you guys have ever wondered what a stud actually is, it is not metal. It is a piece of wood that supports the majority of the weight the house carries. So a stud is a longer piece of wood. It's not metal. So that's another piece of information in case you were ever wondering what a stud was. But with that being said, the inspector will come at the very end as well at the completion of the property to say, hey, let's have a final walkthrough of their projects and give them a punch list of things to fix before they roll out the product to you guys. You guys can actually live in the house. All right. Now, at the time of completion, you guys will sit down normally, sign the paperwork, and then now you own a house, which is absolutely awesome. You guys are homeowners, right? Now, that all being said, I know we really jumped through that pretty fast, and there are some terms that I threw around there. So if you have any questions, please write them down or just message us directly. Now, that's from the real estate construction side. Now, obviously, Michael's going to take us through the things financially, the things to be aware of, and things that you guys should be looking at too.
Thanks, Stephen. I mean, good thing to know here on a new build is that it's a brand new home, right? And that you're going to be the first ones to live in it. So that's always super exciting. The other thing is that depending on what your down payment and credit scores are, there is several different options as far as what kind of loan program that you would look at. We can go anywhere from, FHA, as well as do conventional loans. So we have the whole gamut of loan products. The other thing to know is the fact that your builder also has usually their own lender there, and they're going to try to coax you into talking to that lender. And you know what? A lot of times they just want to make sure that you qualify, because during this crazy time that we're all in all our markets, is that those lots are very coveted and very wanted, right? So they want to make sure that the people that are actually applying for those lots and putting the money down that Stephen talked about and holding those lots, that's like your earnest money. They want to make sure that you actually qualify. Mm-hmm. So don't be scared to go ahead and share some of their information. You could also, a lot of times, let them know that you've already talked to a lender and that you have everything ready. And if you had talked to me, I'd be happy to send them that pre-approvable letter and send that over. But like I said, sometimes that builder may want to see that stuff on their own. Don't be threatened by that. Go ahead and do that. So knowing that we can use just about any product there, the big thing here is the timetable that Stephen said. When we're trying to pick out what phase it's in, we know that Sorry, guys. Looks like we've had a little bit of technical difficulties here, but looks like we're all set up again. So what I'm saying, don't be scared. Builder wants to look and talk to you. Mm-hmm. The big thing to do here is get approved and make sure that you hold that lot down. But the good news is that depending on when that home will be finished is really when the financing comes in. We can lock things out to 120 days and longer, but that's really where you want to be talking to your lender and knowing about what's going on in the market. I mean, as we all know right now, our market's pretty settled after our Jackson Hole speech from Powell last week. But we know that inflation will set in eventually. So that's something that you need to talk to your lender about locking it and making sure that they secure that lock and get you the lowest rate possible. Other things to really know about on a new build that we find out that's really shocking for a lot of clients that I have is the fact of the taxes. Taxes can be, anywhere from, 0.8% to 1.5%, and sometimes maybe even higher on that. That's a big deal. That's 1.5% of the loan amount. So just know that when you're buying a new build, that those taxes are helping pay for the infrastructure around your neighborhood. That's gutters, stop signs, all those things that we really don't ever think about, in sidewalks, right? Things that we don't ever really think about when we go to an established neighborhood because it's already there. So those are things to be aware about. Those taxes will always increase for a while as it's going through those phases to make sure that that whole community gets built out. But the good news here is that there's plenty of lending options for you. Don't be scared of the builder's option. Just talk to your lender, be informed. The more informed you are, the better decisions you can make. So that's really what we've got to say on the lending side. Stephen, do you have anything else to say as far as what to expect from new builds?
Absolutely. So, and just so you guys and gals know that when Michael talked about the taxes, he is talking about taxes as per Colorado. All right. Because obviously that's where we live. So make that note too. But the additional thing that we want you guys to know about when it comes to the new build development itself is that most of the time, they will always additionally include in an HOA or a master build fee or whatever they want to call it. All they are doing is telling you guys, hey, every single month, you're going to pay an additional dollar to us. And this goes to the infrastructure, the things that Michael mentioned, right? Now, to do that, obviously, that helps them build things faster, you hope. And it keeps everything as absolutely uniform as possible. Because if you go in there and start painting your house as red, yellow, purple, that's going to change the project's dynamic and potentially throw a monkey wrench in their area. Because remember, every time that they sell a property or get one on the books, that is now off of their balance sheet. And that's how they keep the project moving forward on time. That's how they increase their funds to keep the next one going and the next one going. All right. So they might say, as an example, hey, I don't like this 6-foot picket fence. I want an 8-foot tall fence. Well, okay. Talk to them and see if that's even allowed in the first place. Number one. Number two, if it is allowed, just know that to get that thing passed and to be able to build your fence, it might take longer than dealing with a normal HOA. Now, why is that? It's because the builders are going to be in charge of that stuff. And if you are trying to repair your fence normally, saying, hey, I don't want the 8-foot fence, I want a 6-foot fence, please repair this for me. Normally, they'll have extra stuff on standby, right? Because they're building tens of hundreds of thousands of homes. They're going to have extra material to build or make ready that house and make it look good. All right. So there's no that kind of stuff. If you do want to improve, that's what's called improve your house by adding things onto it. They may have material for you if you keep it standard. If you don't want to do that, if you want to add some additional flair to it, just ask them. All you have to do is ask them that question. Now, that being said, again, most builders will usually do the front yard for you. They'll have front yard landscaping for you to some sort of degree, because obviously that's the curb appeal. But in the backyard, make sure you ask them, hey, if you're not doing the backyard for me, when do I have to have this completed? Normally, they'll give you some leeway to say, hey, move in there. You have a couple of months. But most builders will say you have to build your backyard out. You can't leave it like dirt, right? Now, they do that, again, to keep the values up of their development so that they can keep moving along the process. So just know you might have to come out of pocket for that backyard landscaping, all right? So just be aware of that kind of stuff too. And then, of course, the last question that we always get is, well, Stephen, for a new build project, they're going to build hundreds of houses. Could I just wait? Well, I mean, you absolutely could wait. But our suggestion is always, if you think you want to buy this house, put down your deposit, get your lot, start the process. Because as every single house gets built, that increases the value of your house. So as an example, if you buy your house for $450,000, that's what it starts at. When you go to buy the property, you get a loan for $450,000, but it might be worth $500,000 now. Well, congratulations, right? Now, with that being said, if you are concerned about the price of the actual project, again, just contact your local lender, get in touch with them, and just understand very clearly what are the terms and things to be aware of, all right? Because everybody is created differently. They may have experience with a particular person or not, right? So just, again, always ask the question. Most people are nice enough to answer those questions professionally and in a timely manner. And if they're not, well, then obviously you've made the right decision and can move on to a different professional who can suit your needs in a better way. But I know we covered a lot of stuff in this video. It only took us 15 minutes. So if you have any additional questions or are thinking about buying a new property or building a new construction property yourself, please reach out to us. And we do look forward to seeing you guys all next time.
Have a great week.